Okay. So that becomes 2 square root of 2. So what are the two solutions then? Well, one solution is this, negative 2 plus radical 8 over 2. But by this calculation, we get this. And again, when you divide into each term in a sum. That's how I got this thing, which is this. And now really, unless I tell you to round your answer, you really can leave the solution like this. You can. Here, the other solution is this addition, right? It's plus or minus, negative 2, excuse me, plus or minus radical 8 over 2. Okay? So, but now, so we had plus here, now we have minus, but it's basically the same calculation, well, almost the same. You have negative 2 minus 2 radical 2 over 2, right? The 2 radical 2 came from here. We divide it into each term, okay? And we get negative 2 over 2 minus 2 radical 2 over 2. And of course, there's some cancellation. That's how I get from here to here. You know, actually, let me show that cancellation quickly. I feel better doing that. So 2 over 2 cancels. The negative is still there, so we have negative 1. Here, these 2's are going to cancel, as you can see. Here, same idea. These 2's cancel, still have negative 1. These 2's cancel, and now you get this. So those are the two solutions. Okay. I hope this answers, I'm not sure who asked it, but I hope this answers your question with the, I mean, it's not 11 here, but hopefully it still shows what you do. So, are there any questions about this? Okay, so I want everyone to work on, wait, I hope I took the solutions out when I sent this to you. I don't remember if I did or not.
I got the solutions.
You do? All right, so you know what, maybe instead, let me do this then. I probably forgot to take those solutions out, you know, so I want everyone to try. So let me see. Here, work on these then, okay? These I know I took the solutions out. So this one you can solve by factoring these. You can use the quadratic formula. So work on these for about 5 minutes, then we'll go through as many as we can, okay? So let me stop the recording. All right. Okay, so let me, I'm just gonna go through the quadratic formula ones. I mean, again, I will post the notes, you know, on Blackboard. So you'll be able to see the solutions as well. So let me just, this thing, yeah, I think that's the, yeah, okay, good. So let me go through this. So notice here, right, what you have to do is you want to solve this by the quadratic formula. I'm not sure why I wrote factoring up there, but I think originally I was going to have you guys do it by factoring, but it got kind of messy. So we're going to use the quadratic formula. But notice again, it's not in standard form, right? So what do? What we have to do is get it in standard form. I mean, it's not hard to do that. You basically have to get the right-hand side to be 0. Here it's 16. Okay, so we just subtract 16 from both sides. And that's what we're doing. Subtract 16, what do we get? We get this. Right? When you add or subtract the same thing to both sides of an equation, right, that doesn't change anything. So this equation is equivalent to what we started with. Now, from here, we have this. Okay, so A is 3, B is -8, and C is -16, right? We have to include the negatives. Okay, so diving into the quadratic formula, we get x equals -8 plus or minus the square root of -8 squared, right? Minus 4 times 3 times -16 over 2 times 3. And so we have 8 plus or minus the square root of 64. But now notice, because that's minus 8 squared, we have minus a negative. That's why we have minus negative 192 over 6. Okay. And so from here, we get 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 plus 192. Again, minus a negative, double negative becomes a plus over 6. And so we get this here. It's the square root of 256, which turns out 256 is a perfect square. It's the 16. Square root of 256 is 16. So our two solutions are 8 plus 16 over 6. That's 24 over 6, which is 4. The other one is 8 minus 16 over 6. Which equals -8 over 6, which I just wrote as -4/3. Okay, that's good. Okay. Any questions on this one? Okay, so here's another one that we want to do by the quadratic formula. And again, this one's okay because it's already in standard form. Okay, so let's take a to be 2. Right, that's the leading coefficient. B is -3. C is -5. And so from here, we get x equals -b, oh, excuse me, -3, that's a double negative, so that becomes 3, plus or minus the square root of -3 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, c is -5 over 2 times 2, and this becomes 3, plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 40 over 4. And of course, that's the square root of 49. 49 is a perfect square. Square root of 49 is 7. So our two solutions then are 3 plus 7 over 4, right? When you have addition, that's 10 over 4. And I just wrote that in lowest terms as 5 over 2. You have 3 minus 7 over 4. That's when you have minus here. And that's equal to minus 4 over 4, which is -1. So those are our two solutions. Okay. Yeah?
So like for like the last term, like up top when like you have the formulas written out, is it always a plus sign, like 9 plus 40? That's always going to be addition?
No, it's minus, but it turns into addition because 4 times a times c itself is negative.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we're actually out of time, so we'll stop here. Okay? So again, I'll see you guys Monday. Okay? So have a nice weekend.